Hey everyone, this is Darius from the Shotcaller, joined by Upset from Schalke 04 Esports. Congratulations on the win. It's been a more difficult start to the split once again. What's the situation like with the team right now?
I think we were pretty good at the start. I mean, not at the start of split, but beforehand when we were like playing together. But then the patch hit us, so it took a lot of time for us to adapt, especially for my role specifically. So I'm just trying to learn as many champs as possible now, which I can show on the LCS days, and just try to be as versatile as possible. And I think this will help our team. And we also played funneling today, so we are more diverse in strategy already. So that's pretty good.
Right, you've been playing the Morgana, probably not the role not the champion you were expecting at the start of the split. What's your take on the AD carry situation? Because we saw Attila today play Lucian, Reckless of course benching himself, Doublelift still playing ADCs, Hansama still playing ADCs. It's like a lot of debate about that. What's your take?
I mean, I think the reason people are playing ADs, I mean, there's Lucian, who is really strong because you get your Bilgewater and you're ready to go. I played him too, and he's spiking really hard and he scales fine too, and you can push most lanes, so he's really strong. Then there's Kai'Sa, who has insane scaling, but she's probably better used in a funnel comp because you can skip your weak laning phase and then you're super strong in team fights, especially if you get all your items. And then there's like Ezreal, who is a more passive approach. Like you could see this game, he got pushed the entire laning phase, he got free farm, but then you have to use your spike super well, or you can still lose team fights easily, and you have no pressure in lane, at least this game. So AD carries are in a not so good spot, I would say. And most mages are just stronger in fights, spike earlier, can pressure lane at some point. Early levels AD carries can push, but at some point, if Swain is 6, you just have to reconsider if you want to fight him. So,
is this maybe an issue that just like ultimates of AD carries usually are very low on impact compared to, mage ultimates?
I think honestly it has a lot of reasons why ADs are not that good. Like they nerfed all the base stats some time ago, and the items are different too, so they don't even spike as hard later on. Or it really depends on the champion, but you're just too weak in fights often. But there are exceptions like Lucian, for example. So mages just seem to be better, or bruisers too. Like if you have a Yasuo or Aurelia in the fight and then the team has Ezreal, you will probably lose the fight. Yeah. So it's really important, I think, to be adaptive to the meta and try to learn all the new champs, which is kind of hard because the patch didn't hit like in off-season how I think it should be. It hit right before the split started, so it's like I'm playing a huge amount of solo queue to just pick up all the champs. My LP is dropping a bit, which is fine, but yeah.
I know you like your number 1 and number 2 spots on the US solo rank.
Yeah. I mean, in off-season I can take it again, but right now I'm just really focused on playing the mages and getting good at them and helping my teams in this way.
So on a scale of 0, there are completely fine, and 10 ADCs are completely dead, never pick an AD. What's like, how bad is it?
I mean, you can pick them, but your team has to play around it, and you need to look for situations where they're actually good.
So 7?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's really situational, and if you're really good at ADs, you can pick them, and if your team knows how to play around them, it's good. But mages are just more useful, I would say, in most cases.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Now, since we last spoke in Spring Split, I got to talk to, for example, Forgiven at EO Masters, and I also recently listened into something that Doublelift and Reckless did on the Fnatic YouTube channel, where they just had a chat and stuff. And consistently, you get a lot of praise from all these big ADs. So Forgiven really praised you in my interview. Reckless praised you as a really talented rookie and stuff like that. What does that mean for you personally? Is it like additional pressure, or how do you deal with that? These great players saying, oh yeah, this guy, you should watch him and stuff.
I mean, I'm glad that they have a high opinion of me in terms of my skill, but the game is still really team focused, and if I can't use my skill in a way that helps our team win, then we're doing something wrong. So I have to learn how to bring my skill set into the team better and use it so we are stronger as a team.
Okay. Pressure in general, is that a huge potential issue for you personally, or does it not affect you whatsoever?
I think it affects everyone, honestly. Especially we have been showing like quite inconsistent performances, as well as last split. We win versus G2 and then we lose versus H2K. It's like finding consistency will relieve a lot of pressure off the team, I think, because we are struggling again. Like we are fighting to get as many wins as possible, obviously. So if we get to a point where we are confident as a team that we will have consistent performance on stage, I think there will be less pressure too, and we can play more confident as a team.
I mean, last split you were pretty consistent, getting 1-1 every week. But like, what is a missing key to the consistency? What's your personal take on that? Because I mean, you did get an amazing, so even more experience. It can't be an experience at this point. Look at the roster.
Yeah, I think it's just building routines and practicing certain stuff that we will use on stage then too. So we don't play something in scrims and play a certain way, and then suddenly we pick different champions and it's not the same anymore. So focus on routines, focus on how we communicate together and have like consistency through this, I think.
Is that maybe an issue that like you try to do too many things at once? Whereas, you know, like when you look, for example, at last split, Giants picked up a lot of wins at the start because they just played one style and one strategy, and then that's just how they played and stuff. Vitality to an extent as well. Yeah. So from an outside perspective, sometimes it looks better for a team that is struggling to just play one thing, perfect that, and then maybe focus on other things once you get wins on the board. I
mean, in one way, this is true for sure, but you also need to be versatile. So if you don't, imagine you play only one thing and it gets banned out, and then you're like, blows, you can't play much more. So
lost in draft.
Yeah, exactly. So being versatile is super important, but it's not necessarily only about the champs you play. It's about patterns, how you approach the game and how you communicate. So if everyone brings their part, then it should work much better. And I think if we find our consistency, we can be a strong team.
Is funnel now the best strategy for Schalke, or is standard still the way for you guys to go?
I don't think there's like a clear cut what's better for us. It's just today no one expected us to play funnel because we didn't show it before. So when we got like really good funnel champs, Kaiser, Brom and Morgana, we're already off to a good start. So us being versatile in this case helped us to get like a good pick and ban and to have like a head start, I guess.
Just one final question, because there were some situations where Schalke almost looked like you gave the game into Giants' hands. So one fight in mid lane, one on the choke point in the jungle. How do these situations in a way keep happening, and how do you plan on fixing them?
It's maybe planning more ahead, or I mean, the enemy team obviously like tries to do stuff all the time, especially with funneling. So we just have to be ready, and we have to know what all the champs can do and how we react to it, I guess. That's the only way we can be prepared for it, to expect it and to plan for it.
Fair enough. Now, is there anything you would like to say to the fans out there?
I mean, we are struggling once again. So I hope we can show better performances and step it up and become more consistent as a team, so you guys can rely on us and it's not always like a coin flip if we do well or not. And for me personally, I hope I can show like a lot of new champs I've been practicing and have great performance on them.
Okay, very excited to see that. I'm pretty sure that Schalke fans are a bit used to struggling sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's just the way sports go, so, you know?
Sometimes, yeah.
So, thank you very much for your time. This was Upset from Schalke 04 and Darius from the Shotcaller. I hope you had a good day. See you then. Hey everyone, this is Darius from the Shotcaller, and I hope you just enjoyed that video. This is a generic end card, of course, so make sure to click here for a different interview, or here for a different interview, or about here to subscribe to the Shotcaller. We very much appreciate your support, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.